Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Arunai Engineering College. She has a vast experience in ECE department. She is a senior professor from Arunai Engineering College. She is going to take the visiting lecture for the students of STEKOM University in the name of Industrial Technology and Automation. First of all, I would like to thank our management, registrar, and principal sir for giving this opportunity to collaborate with STEKOM University. And also, I would like to thank MC, Ms. Gita, Rector, Dr. Joseph, for continuously collaborating and making such event for our student as well as for the STEKOM University student. Now the session will be handed over to Dr. K. Yogitha, Professor, ECE Department. Yes, please, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. So good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Is my voice is audible?
Yes, it's audible.
Okay. Thank you. So myself, Dr. K. Yogitha, completed my doctorate from Annamalai University in the area of Industrial Wireless Sensor Network and completed my postgraduate from Tandai Periyar Government Institute of Technology in the area of Applied Electronics and ECE from SKP Engineering College. My core area of interest is Industrial Wireless Sensor Network, IoT, and then VLSI. I thank the management, registrar, principal, and HODs and the faculty members, and also the STEKOM University for giving me the opportunity to deliver the lecture on the title of Industrial Technology and Automation. So thank you, everyone.
I'm sorry, Dr. Yogita. Before to start all of this event, we would like to inform that we have power outage right now in STEKOM University. So there is going to be some of mistakes or problems, maybe in technical problems. But we would like to have all of you attention for it. Thank you very much.
Shall I wait for a few more minutes, ma'am?
No, we shall just start now because we have all of it handled.
Okay. Shall I start? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it's visible.
Yes. So today title is Industrial Technology and Automation. The key outline of today's presentations are industrial technology, industrial automation, and industry 4.0. So, and then robotics and control system for industry 4.0. So these are the outlines of today's presentation. The first one is industrial technology. So it is nothing but the use of engineering and manufacturing technology to make the production faster, simpler, and more efficient. To make the process very quickly, so we go for industrial technology. We are in the recent days, the industry using the technologies with the help of the manufacturing technology to make the production faster, simpler, and more efficient. So, which includes initially in the initial stage, the technology uses only the machines and the set of rules, and then the organizational process, industrial planning, procedure, and computer application. Okay, for performing the task. In the later, we are using digital technology, okay, to make the process very quickly. So this program in this will typically include the instructions, optimization theory, human factor, organizational behavior, industrial process, industrial planning, procedure, and computer applications. So it involves the managing, operating, maintaining, and maintaining in complex operating systems. So to make the complex process into the simple process, we are using in the industry, they are using the technology. Okay, to make the complex process into a simpler thing, we are using the technology to make the process very fast. The major subject of study is technological development in industry, which can be defined by many ways. The first one is introduction of new tools and techniques for performing the given task in production, distribution, and data processing. And the second one is the mechanization of the production process, or the achievement of state of greater anatomy of technical production system from human control, responsibility, or intervention. Third one is changes in the nature and level of integration of technical production systems or enhanced interdependence. The next one, the development, utilization, and application of new scientific ideas, concepts, and information in production and other process. The last one is enhancement of technical performance, capability, or increase in the efficiency of tools, equipments, technique in performing the given task. So here, the industrial technology is nothing but in the initial stage, they are using followed in the organizational structure for performing or else for executing the event task. So based on the specific needs of the industry, they are following the set of rules, and then with the help of technology, they are completed the task. In the later stage, it just goes on. Okay, they are using the technologies according to the specific needs. The first one is industrial technology, and the second one is industrial automation. So here, the industrial automation is nothing but any process can be executed with less invention, with less involvement of the human. Okay, so that process can be called as the automations. Without the involvement of the human needs, the process is completed. Okay, that is called as automation. So in industry also, the automation is done, okay, in order to reduce some of the drawbacks and in order to make the advantage of industry needs. So here, the industrial automation is the use of control system, including the machines, actuators, sensor, processor, and network to perform the task with the goal of automatic productions. In the initial stage, they used only the machines, that is the sensor, controller, and then the actuator to perform the automations. Later, okay, today, nowadays, we are using the digital technology for process automation. In the middle stage, they use the controller. Okay, today, the industrial automation is a wide range of machines, actuators, sensor, processor, and network that work to connect an industrial environment. So in the middle part of the industrial development, they use the sensor, controller, and then the actuator and the network. All the components are connected with the industrial environment to perform a specific task. Nowadays, we are using the digital technology for the best way of giving the task. So these are nothing but industrial automation. Automation is nothing but any process can be done without the involvement of human. Okay, of course, the concerned persons are needed to execute the task, but the number of person involvement in a particular task is reduced. So that process is called as industrial automation or process automation. The process is done automatically. So with the help of machines, okay, so that is called as process automation. So that thing which can be used in the industries. Industrial automations. See why we go for industrial automations. So there are many advantages to go for industrial automation. The first one is to increases the productivity, and the second one to improve the quality. Third one to enhance the safety. Next to reduce the labor cost, and then for better control, and then to increase the efficiency. Last one to enable the scalability. So how it increases the productivity? Machines can work continuously, so without any break, so that the production is increased with less time. Okay, that is the output is increased within a stimulated time period. Okay, the process is whenever the process is continuously going on. Okay, so without any break, the output is higher. Okay, so that the production is increased. And the second one, quality part also. Okay, so here in the industrial automation, the quality is very high. Okay, since the human error are reduced, since the automation process are already fixed. Okay, so that the errors can be controlled, that is the error can be avoided, that it ensures the quality. Okay, higher quality, and then the better productions can be done in the industrial automations. And the third one is safety part. Okay, the dangerous and the hazardous tasks can be handled by the machines instead of humans. Okay, so this is the major advantage of industrial automation. Okay, so whatever the dangerous or else the hazardous task are can be avoided. Okay, so with the help of this automation process, so that the safety is ensured. Okay, that it enhances the safety. Next, it reduces the labor cost. Yeah, of course, there may be some drawback to in order to reduce the labor cost. Okay, so but there are so many advantage of your using the industrial automation. That is, so in the reduces the labor cost, less manual work is needed, lowering the overall operational cost. Okay, for the industry side, it is benefit. Okay, so to reduce the labor cost. Okay, for individual person side. Okay, so it affects the. So whenever the persons needs the work in the industry, okay, under that case it is affected. But the industry side, it is the advantage part. And the next one is provides the better control. Advanced systems allows precise monitoring and control of process. So with the help of advanced systems, advanced software, okay, every process can be monitored. Okay, and then if there is any changes, okay, while we are monitoring, okay, so that actions can be immediately taken. Okay, so that the errors can be avoided. Okay, and then the production is maintained. Okay, and also the quality is maintained. Okay, so this is the main part for advantage. And the next one is increases efficiency. So resources like time, energy, materials are used more effectively. So that everything, okay, that is the production, quality, okay, quantity, and then the safety. Okay, so everything is output is higher. Okay, and the last one is it enables the scalability. Okay, so that we can adjust the according to the customer needs, according to the industrial needs, we can change or else increase. Okay, or else adjust. Okay, according to the demands. Okay, the productions can be easily increased or adjust according to the demands of the industry or else the demands of the market. So these are some of the advantage for using the industrial automations. Okay, that is, it increases the productivity, it improves the quality, it enhances the safety, and the next one is reduces the labor cost, provides the better control, and increases the efficiency. At last, it enables the scalability. So industrial automation is nothing but any process can be done automatically without the need of humans. Okay, that thing is called as automations. Okay, so there are different stages of industrial automation. In the initial stage, they use only the components. In the middle stage, they use the controller. Nowadays, we are using the digital technology for process automation. Okay. So these are the advantages. And the next one, so architecture of industrial automation. So here there are 5 levels of industrial automations. The level 0, it includes the sensors and actuators. Level 1, automation control. Level 2, supervisory control. Level 3, production control. Level 4, enterprises. So here in the level 0, sensors and actuators are nothing but the input and the output device. Sensor. Okay, so any process can be done. Okay, so with the help of these components, sensor, it just sensing the value, it just measures the value, whatever the thing that we needed. Okay, so that information is given, that information is collected and then passed to the next level. Okay, sensors, and then next level is automation controls. Here in this part, okay, the controller, takes the action. Okay, takes the action. Okay, just processing the incoming value. Okay, and then produces the output. Okay, and the third one is supervisory control. Okay, in the supervisory control, it just in the level 2, it just check whether the sensed value is correctly controlled, monitored. Okay, and then it is given to the next level, that is the supervisory control. Just measure the value, that is the process is correctly going on. I just supervise, it just monitor the next stage. Okay, when everything is correct, then it go for production unit. Okay, afterwards the production is over, the component or else the product is manufactured, then we go for the storage unit. Okay, and then it is ready for the marketing. So these are the levels of industrial automation. Okay, sensor, and then the actuator, it just sends the value, and then the automation control. Okay, whatever the incoming signal, it is sensed by the sensor, that can be processed or controlled. Okay, according to that, if there is any deviation, according to that, it just sends the signal to the actuator. Okay, then the actuator takes the action. Okay, so that, and then from the automation control, okay, it just goes to the next level, level 2, supervisory control. So all the values are correct. Okay, just supervise is nothing but it just monitor the process. Okay, monitor the process is when everything is correct. Okay, it goes for the production unit. Okay, afterwards it goes for the enterprise, that is it is ready for the marketing. Okay, the first 2 level, okay, industrial automation, and the last 2 level is nothing but the industrial IT. So industrial automation, what is mean by industrial automation, and then what are the types, why we go for industrial automation? There are so many benefits in industry why go for automation purpose. There may be only a negligible amount of drawbacks, okay, in the industrial automations. And then here, that is the architecture level of industrial automation. And the next one is types of industrial automations. So there are so many types of industrial automation based on the specific needs of the industry. Okay, so here, that is here, most common 3 types are mentioned. Okay, the first one is fixed or hot automation. The second one is programmable automation. And the third one is flexible or soft automation. So these are most commonly used types of automations in the industries. Okay, first we'll see for fixed automations. So here the fixed or hot automations. So it is employed. Okay, so what are the things it should be repeatedly carried out? Okay, so that process is called fixed automations. Okay, so it should be carried out frequently in a fixed time interval. Okay, so that process is called fixed automation. Okay, so it is employed to perform fixed or repetitive operations, and also it uses a special purpose or dedicated equipments to automate the fixed sequence assembly or processing operations. Okay, so there are many industries are using this type of automation. Okay, so whenever the process should be carried out frequently, okay, at a fixed time period. Okay, so that process is called fixed automation. So here all equipments are used, okay, in order to make the process. Okay, so that which is called as hot automations. And the second one is programmable automations. So here in this type of automation, a specific product or else the specific task can be programmed, reprogrammed, or else the specific product can be changed, okay, according to the productions, according to the need of the industries. Okay, so that thing is called as programmable automations. So in this automation, a specific class of product changes and also assembling. The specific part is assembling or processing. The operations can be changed with the modification of control programs in the automated equipments. So here, based on the equipments which is used in the industry, the consent program can be modified, okay, in order to execute the task, in order to execute the process. Only a specific only the certain part of the program can be remodified, or if the certain part of the components can be changed with the help of the program, with the help of equipments. Okay, so that is called programmable automations. And the third one is flexible or soft automations. Third one is flexible or soft automations. It provides the automatic control equipments that offer greater flexibility for making the changes in the product design. So these changes can be performed quickly through the commands given by the human operator. That is, so here in this flexible, which is nothing but the soft, okay, here the equipments are used in order to make the changes in the process flexibly. Okay, just making some changes, okay, over the process, okay, through flexible arrangement, so that it is called as a flexible automations, and then all the operations can be quickly performed, okay, now with the help of the human needs. Okay, so that is called as the flexible or soft automations. So these are the common types of automations used in the industry. The first one is fixed or else the hard automation, and the second one is programmable automation, and the third one is flexible automations. Fixed, which is nothing but hard, here the operation is repeatedly carried out. So here the hard equipments are used. In the programmable automation, with the help of the program that is implemented in the equipment, okay, we can change only the certain part, okay, for executing the task. And the third one is flexible or soft automation. Here the equipments are used flexibly, okay, to make some changes quickly, okay, for executing the task. Okay, so these are the common types of automations which are used in the industries. Okay, the next one is the first we'll see where we discussed about the industrial technology. The second we discussed about the industrial automation and its types. And the third we go for industry 4.0. So these are the stages of developments in the industry, starting from industry 1.0, then industry 2.0, then industry 3.0, and industry 4.0. In the initial stage, they used in the year of 1874, later 1870, then 1969, and today's we are using industry 4.0, and also industry 5.0 also developed. It is going to be developed. Okay, in the industry 1.0, okay, so here mechanization, steam power, and weaving loom. Okay, so that is in this process the water and the steam which enables the machines, okay, for the particular task, for executing the task. In industry 2.0, the mass productions, okay, and then generation of electrical energy, okay, or else the assembly line is carried out. In industry 3.0, okay, with the help of the common components, say for an example, controllers, sensors, actuators are used to perform the task. Only the equipments, only the machines and the tools are used in industry 3.0. Nowadays, the digital technology with the manufacturing process, okay, or else incorporated for executing the task. That is the cyber, physical systems, Internet of Things, and the network. Okay, as you know, the Internet of Things is nothing but the things which connects to the internet, human to human over the internet, machine to machine over the internet, or else the machine to human over the internet. Okay, in industry also they are using. Okay, currently IoT is implemented in every industry for process automation also. Okay. So these are the stages of development in the industry, starting from 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and then 4.0. Okay, first only the water and the steams are used to enable the industry. Second one for mass production. Third one for automation, and the fourth one for digital technology with the manufacturing process can be. And industry 5.0, digital technology along with the human. Okay, so that is nothing but industry 5.0. So So here we'll discuss the common factors among the industrial technology, industrial automation, and industry 4.0. Okay, so everything comes under the same name. Okay, so here in the industrial technology, the application of engineering and technology to improve the industrial process. Okay, so here also the technology can be used. Okay, so the name is according to the development. Okay, the name varies. Okay, starting from initial technology to industrial 4.0 to 5.0. And industrial automation, so it uses the control systems, machines to perform the task with minimum human involvement. And industry 4.0, it integrates the technology, okay, to create the smart industry. Okay, so whenever the technologies are implemented in the industry along with the process, that industry we can say it has to be a smart industry. Okay, so here, and the second one is the main focus in the industrial technology, only the tools and the machines and the productions method. In industrial automation, the controller, sensor, and actuators are along used to automate the process. And the third one, industry 4.0, the main focus is to make the system to be smart, to be intelligent. So, and the third one is technology used. Okay, what are the technology which can be used in different categories? Okay, only the basic machineries and machinery manufacturing tools are used in the industrial technology. And the industrial automation, PLC, robots, control systems, so on. So. And the last one, industry 4.0, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, big data, and cloud computing are used in industry 4.0. So along with this technology, with the human involvement is nothing but industry 5.0. Okay, nowadays it's starting. Okay, and the next one is human involvement. In the initial stage, okay, so more number of humans are involved in the industry. In the later, okay, it is somewhat reduced since the process is automation. Process is automated. In the industry 4.0, okay, so only the decision making. Okay, so the human involvement is used in industry 4.0. And the next one is flexibility. So here, limited to moderate. In industrial automation, it is moderate. Okay, whereas in industry 4.0, it is highly flexible. Okay, and then the goal for industrial technologies, it improves the productions and efficiency. In industrial automation, it reduces the human efforts and increases the productivity. And industry 4.0, it creates the intelligence and self-optimizing factory. Okay, so these are the common aspects among the industrial technology, industrial automations, and industry 4.0. Okay, so now industry 4.0. Okay, so industry 4.0, which is also called as a smart industry or smart factory, whenever the technology is used to make the process to be very flexible. Okay, that industry to be called as a smart factories. Industry 4.0 refers to the integration of digital technology into production process and the management of these process through the intelligent systems. Okay, so the basic component of industry 4.0, which includes IoT, Internet of Things, big data analytics, cloud computing, cyber physical system, artificial system, robotics automations. This technology enables the faster and more accurate decisions by digitalizing the production process. So in the initial stage, in the process automation in the industry, they use the wired network, okay, for automations. Later, wireless network, okay, and then wireless sensor network. Afterwards, Wi-Fi, okay. That is so and so technologies, so and so networking technologies are implemented, okay, to monitor the process, to automate the process. So what are the benefits of industry 4.0? Okay, so as similar to industrial automation, so here also, okay, so there are many advantages of industry 4.0 as the technology is improved day by day. Okay, the benefits also improve day by day. Okay, so the first one is, so here also the higher productivity, improved efficiency, better decision making, and then the flexibility, predictive maintenance, improve the product quality, cost reductions, greater connectivity, customize. Okay, and then at last improve safety. Okay, the first one is higher productivity. Okay, the smart machines and automation increases the output with less time. And the second one is efficiency. Okay, so here the output is very high. Okay, since the technologies are used. Okay, so that the efficiency is completely higher. Okay, as compared to industrial automation. Okay, so in the industrial automation, only we are using the components. Okay, sensors, controllers, and then the actuators are used, okay, for the production unit or to make the production task. But here the technology also implemented, okay, so that the performance is higher as compared to the previous stage. Okay, and then the third one is better decision making. So data analytics and AI provides the accurate insight for quick decisions. So the decisions can be quickly change, okay, according to the output, according to the monitoring stage, okay, we can make the decisions. And the next one is enhanced flexibility. Okay, so here the production can be production systems can be easily adapt to changes in demand or design according to the market demands, according to the customer demands, according to the industrial demands. The production process can be changed, okay, according to the based on the flexible needs. The next one is predictive maintenance. So here the process is monitored stage by stage, okay, so that we can detect the fault at each stage of the components, so that the machines also continuously monitor. If any deviations in the process of the concerned output, then the machines can be easily detected. The faulty machines can be easily detected, and then it can be reassembled. Okay, and the next one is improved product quality. Okay, so with the help of technology, okay, and then the process continuous monitoring, okay, the quality of the product can be checked continuously. Next, cost reductions, automations and optimization, lower operational and then the labor cost. In the industrial automation also, the labor cost is reduced as compared to the industrial automation in industry 4.0. Also the cost is reduced. There is no difference between the industrial automation and industry 4.0. Only the technology is developed. Okay, so between the industrial automation to the industrial 4.0. And then the greater connectivity. So here in this part, okay, all the machines, okay, and then the systems, peoples are interconnected with the through IoT. Okay, so here if so from the quality engineer, they can continuously check the quality of the consent product, okay, through software, okay, through software, that is by stage he or she can, that is the quality engineer can check the process of each stage. Okay, if there is any deviation, okay, then he or she can makes the decision, okay, for the better output. Then the next one is customization. Customize, that is we can reassemble, we can remodify the product design based on the customer needs. At last, safety. Yeah, that is here 100% safety is an issue. Completely it avoids the dangerous task. Okay, of course there may be some drawbacks. Okay, so over the technologies, there may be some drawbacks. Okay, but it can be overcome. Okay, due to continuous monitoring. So these are some of the benefits of industry 4.0. So that is in industrial technology, industrial automation, and industry 4.0. In industry 4.0, so here the technologies are used for automations. Okay. So and also the networks also in the initial stage, they use the wireless network. Industry, they use the wired network for transmitting the data. Okay, and the later wireless network and then wireless sensor network. Then nowadays we are using the IoT. Okay, and then that is what is called as industrial IoT, industrial Internet of Things. That is all the things are connected over the net. Okay, in the industrial environment. so that it is called as Industrial Internet of Things. And also later, after IoT, it is called as after cognitive IoT, or else the artificial intelligence, okay, cyber physical systems, so and so technologies are continuously developed, okay, in the industries to make the process to be flexible, to make the process to be efficient. Okay, for that the technology is developing day by day, which is used in the industry day by day. Benefits of Industry 4.0. And next we'll go for robotics for Industry 4.0. So how the in industrial automation also robots are used, okay, it's for automation purpose. And then whatever the task which cannot be executed by the human, under that case the robots are used to complete the process. Okay, so robot is nothing but it is here a reprogrammable multifunctional manipulator which designed to move the material parts, tools, or specialized device through variable programmed motions for the performance of variety of tasks. Robots are used for to moving the material, to pick up the material, okay, or else to move the parts, tools, or else for any functional task, robots can be used in the industry to complete the process. And then what is the difference between the robots and robotics? Robotics is a branch of engineering that involves the conceptions, design, manufacture, and operation of robots. So it is a branch of engineering, okay, for designing, and then for manufacturing, and then for operation of robots. So some of the characteristics of robotics are, the first one is SMEI, okay, sensing, movement, energy, and intelligence. So what it senses, robot, it senses the environment and is only possible through sensor. Okay, of course it has the sensor. Robots having the three functional units in the present in the robots are sensor, controller, and then the actuators. Okay, the any actions can be carried out with the actuators over the arms. Okay, robotic arms. Okay, and the second one is movement. So based on the actuator, that is the actions, the movements can be carried out. Robot needs to be able to move around the environments, okay, based on the actions, based on the actuators. And then a robot needs the energy, okay, that is it needs to be able to be power itself. And the last one is intelligence. It needs the intelligence and smart that is only possible through programming. That is based on the control, based on the equipments, based on the components we are using in the robots. Okay, it may be very starting from 8085, 8086, and then there are different types of processor, different types of controller which can be used in the robotic for specific application, specific task. Okay, so based on that, we can select the components. Okay, either it may be a processor or else it may be a controller. Okay. And then, so these are characteristics of robotics: sensing, movement, energy, and intelligence. Okay, to sense the environment, to be move around the environment, it should be powered by itself, and then it needs the smart and intelligence. Okay, so through programming. And then why we go for what is the need for robotics? Okay, so to carry out the dangerous work that is the human cannot able to do, under that case the robotics are used. Okay, and the second one is to perform the repetitive work, okay, and then to carry out the high precisions and speed work, the robotics are used. There are so many applications in the robots in the industry. Okay, so here I have mentioned some of the applications. The first one is arc welding, and the second one is spark welding, and the third one is material handling. Okay, so to cut the equipments, okay, so here in a specific structure like arc, okay, under that case this type of robotics are used. And the second one is spark welding, to handle the materials, okay, So material handling. So these are some of the applications of robots in the industry for art building, part building, and to handle the materials, and also to painting the equipments or car or vehicle, any type of vehicles. Okay, robotics are used. And the next one is assembly. Okay, to assemble the product. Okay, so in a sequence order, robots are used in the industries. And next one is for mechanical cutting, grinding, and deburring and polishing. Robots are used. And also for gluing, adhesive sealing, and spraying the material, the robots are used. So here, some of the applications of robots in the industries are mentioned for art building, part building, material handling, painting, assembly, mechanical cutting, grinding, deburring, and polishing. And also gluing, adhesive sealing, and spraying materials. So there are more types of robots are available nowadays. Yes, the most common robots are used in the industries are mentioned. The first one is articulated robot. Articulated robots, it has the rotary joints and can have up to 10 or more axes. So with the help of these robots, the components can be easily picked, okay, and then can be assembled at whatever the place that product is required. So this type of robot, which is called as articulated robot and have more than 10 or more axes. And the second one is SCARA robot. SCARA robot, it just stands for the Selective Compliance Assembly Robot Arm. So that are performed for assembling or picking up the small components. Okay, for picking up the component and then to assemble the component, this type of robots are used only for the small components. Okay, and the next one is, so that design is allowed to quick back and forth movement. Okay, just quickly carried out the components and then assemble the components. This makes to be a great repetitive assembly line work without losing the speed or accuracy. Okay, so here the it makes the process to be very fast. Okay, and then there is no error to while using this type of robot. Okay, Selective Compliance Assembly Robot SCARA robot. And the next one is Delta robot arm. So here in the Delta robot arm, so this type of robot, it looks like the structure look like a spider, okay, spider looking one with the 3 arms connected with, so all the 3 arms are connected to the base. Delta robots are which are very fast, okay, and then it is lightweight, okay, so and then mainly this type of robots are used in the packaging industry and also the food industries. Delta robot arm. Okay, so look at this structure. Okay, the structure look like a spider. Okay, so and also all the 3 arms are connected at the base part or connected to the base part. Okay, so it is very fast, lightweight, and mainly this type of robots are used in the food and the packaging industries. And the next one is GoBot robots. So which is a human-friendly robot. Okay, so by using these types of robots, okay, so any hazardous task can be avoided. Okay, and then so unlike traditional robots that operates behind the safety barrier, GoBots can actually share a workspace with the worker without posing any danger. So it have the sensor. Okay, of course, all the robots have the sensor. It just by through the sensor, it just sends the value. Okay, so this robot also just sends or it's the detect. Okay, so it has the sensor to detect the touch and stop instantly if something comes in the way. In cobots or collaborative robots are one of the fast growing type of robotic arm as they bridge the gap between the automation and the teamwork. Okay, so here it just, of course, there is a gap between the human and then the automation process. Since the human involvement is very less in the automation industry, okay, so this type of robots, it just bridges, it just fill the gap between the human involvement in the automation process. Okay, so this GoBot robot, which is also called as a human-friendly robot. Okay, and also with the help of this robot, the process can be just used for the human. okay, to make the process to be effective, okay, and then to be automate to execute the process. And the third one is Cartesian or gantry robots. Cartesian or gantry robots. So here, as you know, the Cartesian coordinates are three coordinates. Okay, x, y, z. Okay, so here also with respect to three-dimensional axis, it moves the straight line. Okay, up and down, left, right, forward, and backward. Okay, so it just mentioned the axis x, y along the three coordinate axis x, y, z, or just move. So this type of robot is also called as a Cartesian robot. So this type of robots also used in the for any manufacturing, food packing industries, okay, food industry or packaging industries. Since it moves over the three axes x, y, and then z. So that's all about the robotic part. Okay, so what is mean by robots, robotics, and then characteristics robots, and then need for robotics? There are many industrial applications for using the robot in the industry. Okay, and then the next one is types of robots. Okay, so why we selecting the particular type of robots? So based on the design structure, based on the performance, we can select the robots, okay, in the industry. Articulated robots, SCARA robot, Delta robot arm, and the next one is Cobot robot. Last one, Cartesian or gantry robots. Okay. Next, we go for the control systems. Okay. So this is the heart of the automation process. Control system is the heart of the automation process. So the basic components in the control systems are sensor, controller, and then the output unit is nothing but the final control element. Sensor, it just senses the value. Say for example, it may senses the temperature, it may senses the pressure, okay, or else it may senses the humidity level of the concerned process, okay, and then whatever the value it is sensed, that information to be passed to the controller. Okay, or else not only the temperature, pressure, it also senses the incoming signal. Okay, just also sends the input values to the process. Okay, whether the materials are correctly received or not. Okay, to make the process, to manufacture the process, whether the inputs are received correctly or not. Okay, that thing can be measured by the sensor. That thing can be sensed by the sensor. Okay, so in the controller part, so this is the main part. Okay, so either we can use PLC, okay, or else the DCS, that is a programmable logic controller or distributed control system, okay, in the industries, okay, for make the action, okay, based on the input value, okay, it just makes the decisions. And then, so based on the output of the controller, okay, so it goes to the output device, that is the final control element. Through that, the control box can be, the signal can be received through to the control boards. So this is the basic process of control systems. And control systems in industrial automations. So automation control systems can be classified into two types. The first one is open loop control and the second one is closed loop control. In the open loop control, okay, so any process can be carried out with the help of three components: sensor, controller, and then the output unit. Okay, from the output to the input, okay, so the signal can be connected through the feedback. Okay, so if there is no feedback, then it is called as a open loop systems. If the feedback is connected between the input to the output, okay, so that system is called as a closed loop control systems. That is, in the open loop control systems, it is nothing but the systems operates without any feedback. That is, the controller sends the command to the final unit. Okay, just it won't verify. Okay, whatever the thing, it just process, okay, that thing can be sent to the final control element without verifying. Okay, whereas in the closed loop control, Okay, that the controller should be verified. Okay, the system uses the feedback from the sensor to adjust the output continuously to maintain the desired set point. Okay, so according to the values, according to the until to get the desired output, okay, the process to be continuously going on. Okay, so that thing is called as a closed loop control systems. Okay, and so here the examples are mentioned for the open loop control and also for the closed loop control units. Okay, and then controller in automated systems. Okay, in industrial automation, the controller are the central components for managing and regulating the operations of the machines and process. They receive the input signal from the sensor and then processes the signal according to the programmable logic and send the command to the actuator to perform the specific actions. Okay. And then, so components and the control strategies of the controller is very, very important for designing the efficient automated systems. As you know, as so here the controller, it is the main part in the controller is the main part in any automation systems. Okay, so based on the input, process the value and then gives to the final elements. Either it may be a two types, that is either it may be a open loop control or else it may be a closed loop control. Okay, so until to get the desired output value, okay, the process should be continuously going on. That is called as a closed loop control. So there are many types of controller used in the industries. Okay, the first one is the controller in the industrial automations are broadly classified into the following categories. The first one is programmable logic controller, and the second one is distributed control system, and the third one is supervisory control and data acquisitions. Okay, the first one is digital logic controller. So it is highly very, very flexible and it can be reprogrammed for different tasks. Okay, for discrete manufacturing. And the second one is distributed control system. So this type of controller, it is used for the complex and continuous process. Say for an example, chemical plants or power generation, these types of TCS types of controllers are used. And the last one is supervisory control and data acquisition, that is the SCADA. Okay, for remote monitoring and control the process. Okay, so this type of controller are used. These are the main types of controller which are used in the industries. Programmable logic controller, whenever to rechange the process, okay, reprogram for different tasks, we can use this type of controller PLC. For the complex task and then for continuous process, TCS type of controller is used. And the third one for remotely monitoring and then for remotely controlled, this type of SCADA controller are used. Okay, so these are the three controllers used in the industries. And the functions of controller. Okay, it performs so many functions. So here the three main common types of functions are mentioned. The first one is signal amplification. The second one is logic execution, and the third one is communication and data handling. Okay, first one, signal amplification. Not only the controller just control the value, okay, and also it includes the amplifier in order to boost the weakened signal, okay, for accurate processing. Okay, so controller act as your amplifier also. And the second one is logic execution. So controller execute the program logic or algorithm to determine the appropriate control actions. And the third one is communication and data handling. The modern controller communicate with other device and the system to exchange the data for integrated automations. So controller, it should be, so in the recent days, okay, the controller should connect it over to the internet also. Okay, so through IoT. So controller are used in various industrial applications. Okay, so motor speed control, that is variable frequency drives controlled by the PLC adjust the motor speed by varying the frequency of the supply voltage. And the process automation distributed control systems regulates the temperature, pressure, and the flow in the chemical plant to maintain the product quality. And the next one is robotics control. Controller manage the robot motions by processing the sensor feedback and execute the motion commands. So these are some of the applications of controller, motor speed control, process automations, and robotics control in the industries. Okay, so just one will short recall the today's topic. 2 minutes. The first one is industrial technology. So in industrial technology, only with the help of set of rules and the machines, the process can be carried out. So what are the things which can be included in the industry? Okay, so everything that can be included in the industry. And the second one is industrial automation. So here the controller, sensor, actuators, or any processes can be used in the initial stage. Later, we can use the advanced technology also in the industrial automations. Okay, so there are 4 levels of industrial automation starting from level 0 to level 4. And the next one is types of industrial automation, fixed or hard automation, programmable automation, and then the soft automation. Okay, for repeated action, for to change the consent task, and then for to change the specific components. Okay, so here flexible equipments are used, different types of industrial automation, and then different stages of development of industries. Industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and then 4.0. Okay. And the next one is what is Industry 4.0 and then its benefits. Afterwards, robotics and control systems in the Industry 4.0. Okay, so what is meant by robots, robotics, and then its characteristics. Afterwards, different applications of robots in the industry. So what is the need to use the robots in the industries? So these are main applications of robots in the industry and then its types. Okay, so there are here 4 types of robots are mentioned. The first one is articulated robots, SCARA robots, Delta robot arm, and then the Cobra, Atlas, Cartesian robots. Okay, and then what is the control systems? Okay, so control systems, there are 2 types, open loop and then the closed loop. Okay, so open loop is nothing but the controller sends the commands to the final stage, whereas in the closed loop, until to get the consent output, the process is continually going on. Okay. And the next one is controller in the automated systems. Okay, so what is the need of controller? And then what are the types of controller? PLC, DCS, SCADA. Okay, for reprogramming, for complex tasks, for remote monitoring, these controllers are used, and then its functions. Okay, not only it act as a controller, but also it act as a signal amplification, logic execution, and then for communication and data handling, controllers are used. Okay, and then its applications. Yes, thank you. Any questions?
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Yogitha, for your beautiful explanation and presentation. And we will now begin our Q&A session where you can engage directly with our esteemed speakers and explore industrial technology and automation, as that is our theme for today. And if you have any question, please don't forget or hesitate to type them in the chat. And as we can see right now, we already have some questions for you, Dr. Yogitha. The first one is from Harry. The question is visible in the chat box. Would you like me to read it for you? The very first one is, in your experience or your opinion, what is the most critical skill students should develop today to stay relevant in the era of industrial automation, especially for me?
So the students should know about the basic process of industries, and also they should know about the recent technologies, so which are used in the different industries. So what are the recent tools and then the recent technologies are used? So based on, there are different types of industry. Okay, so based on the students should select based on their interest, the students should select the industry. Okay, and then they should review about the industry. What are the tools, what are the products they are manufacturing, and then what technology they are using for manufacturing the consent product. So the technology, which is nothing but starting from wireless network, wireless sensor network, okay, and then IoT, afterwards AI. So these are technologies. So based on the technology, the programming language also differs. So it is very, very interesting. Okay, so they are called as a quality engineer. Whenever the product is checked or monitored, okay, so the concerned engineer called as a quality engineer. So their role is very, very responsible role. Okay, so they should check the quality of each stage, okay, of the process in the industry.
Okay, thank you for your answer, Dr. Gita. I think we might to change to another question that is from Renee. The question is, oh, I'm sorry. I think we could start by Sania first. The question is, hello, what ethical considerations should we be aware of applying automation in AI in industries?
So that is the set of rules to be each and every industry have their own ethics, own rules, and procedure to be followed. Okay, right? So they have their own rules and regulations. Okay, so first we'll look at the industry's procedure rules. Okay, then we go for the automation process. Nowadays, after IoT, it is nothing but the AI. Okay, and then IoT, after IoT is nothing but the cognitive IoT, then AI. Okay, afterwards, data analytics. So these are the technologies which are used in the industries. The industry have the own rules and regulations. Okay, so what are the things, what are the technologies to be used for the, so that things to be followed by the quality manager or quality engineer or production manager.
Is that all of the answer, Dr. Gita?
Academia and industry. How important is collaboration between the academia and industry to support the innovations in industrial automations? So it is the very interesting question. Okay, so innovations, it is developed, the concept is developed day by day. Okay, so whenever we work on the process, okay, so we have the new ideas and new ideas to develop the product. Okay, only when we are going to work on the process, we have the another set of idea, right? Right. Okay. So the students should visit the industries, okay, to review the product. Okay, so whether it meets the customer needs or not. Okay, so they should verify. They should go and visit the industries. Industry 5.0, this is the emerging technology. The next question is, what emerging technologies do you believe will shape the future of industrial automations in the next few years? Industry 5.0 technologies along with the involvement of the humans. Sensor are nothing but there is no difference between the sensor and the transmitter. Okay, so based on the process, okay, so the sensor can be used whenever the needs in each stage of the process. Okay, there may be a difference, and also the transmitter just sends the signal. That is, the sensor senses the value. So this is the next question. Whatever the input which can be transmitted through the transmitter, that is the sensor just sensing and then sends the value, okay, to the next stage. So these are the questions I have received.
Yes, that's all of the question that has been asked for now. there's no more question for Dr. Yogitha, please, all of the audience, if you have any question, just type it on the chat box and we would like to discuss it together before we wrap up all of the session together. I think that's all of the question already. For your information, Dr. Yogitha, there's a share screen in the Zoom.
That is it?
You still sharing your screen on the Zoom currently?
Share. Okay, I'm just stop sharing.
Yes. Okay, thank you. As we wrap up this enriching lecture, maybe let's capture this moment with the group photo as I count it together. And all of the participants, please open your cam so that we could capture this moment together. And I will count it by 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And once again, 1, 2, 3. Thank you for your all of active participant, and this snapshot will be lasting memory of this extraordinary lecturing. And as we conclude this intellectually stimulating visiting lectures or just guest professor session, I sincerely thank each participant for your dynamic involvement and unwavering engagement and enthusiasm throughout this enlightening event. And my profound appreciation also our two directed to our distinguished speakers, Dr. K. Yogitha, and also Prof. Noorul Hassan as MC. Your deep insight and generous knowledge sharing have enriched our intellect sources. As we close today's event, I encourage everyone to continue the dialogue and networking initiated here. Please remain connected with us for upcoming events and opportunities. Your presence is invaluable, and we look forward to participate in the future programs. Once again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for Dr. Yogitha. Take a good care and see you in the next scholarly gathering.
Thank you. Thank you. So I thank Gita and STEKOM University, and also I thank our management, Registrar Sir and Principal Sir, and my HOD and Noorul Sir, and also the faculty members for giving this opportunity to deliver the lecture, and students of STEKOM University. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
Have a good day. Thank you.